Hello, I'm E. Rice Bay, and what we're going to be talking about here is reentry, perspective from what I know about me, as well as what I learned about other people. I'll just simply begin with myself. I come from a pretty rough background, which led me eventually into gangs and drugs as I grew older, and eventually and finally the penitentiary. And that's where we all headed as long as we tend to be disruptive in our communities, disobeying the laws that are set aside for us to obey in order for us to move forward and become productive citizens in society. This was my mother and my father's intent for me, but I went to the left. As long as we're involved in certain unproductive areas of our communities, then we tend to take the same route that others have taken, is the prison route. And that's my route. That's where I end up, and that's my story. So what I want you to know about that is that there's a better way for us as a people to better ourselves and to become better. I learned this during my third time in prison, whereupon I met myself. I literally met Allah in prison, which allowed me to become more constructive and beneficial in my communities. I learned that we all had tools that we tend to not be aware of or not made aware of. I was made aware of these tools. They lie in the workshop of our minds, where things are made of thought and where we build up character. This is who I am, this is who I came to be. And constantly every day I use these tools in order to stay on top of myself and stay a conductive, pardon myself, a productive member in my prospective community. During my time of search, as far as myself is concerned, I end up running into somebody who saw that there was a purpose in me and decided to induct me into their organization. At the time, 6 years ago, this organization, which is still existing today and that I'm a part of, is called OBK, Our Brothers Keepers. And that's what we tend to do for those individuals coming out of prison. What we want people to know is that they're people just like any other person. They made mistakes. I've made mistakes. I did my time. I'm back. I'm in my community being productive with the members of society. The children that I meet, just breaks my heart to see them in the predicaments that they end up in. So what we do is go out there and try to talk to them and to make sure that they have the necessary things that they need to move forward and be successful. This is what OBK is about. It's a great organization. It's a great program. And what we look for is people to assist us with funding so that we may be more productive in our community as far as helping people coming out of prison. Because no one seems to care about these people. As I said before, and I reiterate, they are people just like any other person. Now, admittedly, there are some people who need to stay in there because they just running havoc throughout their communities, destroying and creating destruction. It's sad when I think about it. But I want to be a part of the group that's going to instill love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice in our community. I leave that say, I yield.
Okay. First of all, my name is Frederick Rickathon James, and I work for Our Brothers Keeper. We're located at 614 North 7th Street in East St. Louis, across from one of the most notorious housing facilities in the country, a place called the Gumper Homes, named after an avowed racist named Samuel L. Gumpers. Do the research on that. But what we do here is we're a reentry service, and we help men and women get their affairs in order when they come home from prison. Myself, I was an ex-inmate myself, and when I came home, I needed help. And an organization helped me get my affairs in order. And I saw how beneficial that was to me and others, and I wanted to do the same thing because you face challenges and hurdles that are insurmountable when you return home from prison. So I wanted to ease some of those concerns by helping brothers and sisters any way that I could, and that led me to join the team of Our Brothers Keeper. And I must say we do a very good job of helping those in need. I mean, we cover all bases. We've done some things that I know for a fact other organizations haven't done, because we take a real personal stake in our clients, very personal. We run out of things that we attempt to give them quite often, because so many people hear about us and they steady knock on that front door needing assistance. And we have to stick to our guidelines of helping only those who have been formerly incarcerated. And we get more than that. My background is I got into some things after high school that I should have refrained from, which led me down a very wicked path. And in East St. Louis, that path is very easy to get on. You know, there's no economic base here in the city, so people look for other ways to make finance, and that leads to a lot of illegitimate ways to make finance. And I found myself entrapped in that. Back in 2001, I was incarcerated up until 2018. And over 16 years of my life spent in federal prison. So when I came home, I wanted to make sure that those who first and foremost look like me, because we don't get justice in these situations, but we don't discriminate, we help everybody. But I must be honest, that was my initial goal, was to help those who look like me. But working here at OBK, I see that so many people need help. It doesn't matter where you're from, because they face the same obstacles that we face in life. Drug addicted communities, lack of resources in your communities, mismanagement by your government. These things take a toll on those involved. So we try to bridge those gaps here at OBK. I'm not going to say we try, we actually do. We do quite a few things that's not in the handbook, so to speak. And we're rewarded for that. I mean, you know, when you put out good things in the universe, that's what you get back. You get back good things. And I like to think, and I think I know that the things we do at OBK come back to us in beautiful ways, because our heart really is in this. We're not in it for the pay, because there's not much of that, sadly to say. But we're in it because we want to help people, honestly help people. And I must admit that me, my partner, and others here at OBK, our new director, and our donors, we do a great job of helping our returning citizens, so to speak. Thank you. Okay, some of the clients we have, we can see through our experience that they're not honest in their recovery, in their what it takes to stay out of prison when they return home. A lot of them come through these doors thinking they can do the same exact things that led them to being incarcerated. And me and my brother take it upon ourselves to insist to them that no, there's other things you can do besides those things that led you to prison or jail. So you need to explore some of those things, because if you don't, that's going to be your residence for years to come. You know, and I must say that most follow our advice because they can see that we've been through what it is we're counseling them about. You know, it's easier, and I've had them tell me this, man, we can listen to y'all easily because we know y'all been there. And that's true. You want to talk to someone who's experienced what you've experienced. Not saying that's the only person that can help you, but it eases the concern of the individual if they know that you have the gist of what they've been through.
Let me add on that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason why a lot of people are not successful when dealing with ex-incarcerated individuals. Simply because they want to talk to them with a sweater on, a collegiate sweater, or a tie. They're not trying to listen to you. Let's just be clear. Let's just be real. They don't want to hear that because they know that you haven't touched a drug. And how can you speak to me about drugs when you haven't even touched a drug? You don't know what drugs is about except from reading a book. And many things that take place in our communities as far as programs go are coming from a book written by someone who gives their personal perspective on what they think our communities might need. Rikk and I, we go out there. We're in the community. We're amongst the people. We're finding out what their needs are. They want to be spoken to. They feel like we've left them behind. And this is why we have programs like this. OBK, we are one of the specialized programs that probably the only program that really deals with the needs of the people directly when they come in that door for a hot breakfast in the morning time. Whereas anywhere else, they can't get that, you know? So I just want to point out that we need to be more hands-on. Am I right, Rikk?
You're definitely right. And another thing, people that we attempt to help, they can sense your sincerity. They know when you're pulling their leg, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And they rebel from that. They also know when you're being honest and sincere with them, because the people that we help have been through a lot in life. And we have to give them the acknowledgement of they know how to see things also. They're not just criminals and inmates and returning citizens. They're human beings. And when we treat them as such, they reply and respond to us much better. Because I think Ernest said before that we talk to them and not at them.
Absolutely.
And there's a big difference. Big difference. You know, so those things, our personal experience assists us greatly in attempting to do what we do greatly.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't pass up those personal experiences for anything, because that made me who I am today. And I'm happy with who I am today. I wouldn't change really a thing in my life. Other than me being away and not being able to raise my children the way I would have liked to. That's the only drawback to me going to prison, because I learned a lot while I was in there. And I took it upon myself to do that. because that's not a place of higher learning. You have to take it upon yourself to do that. And I did that. So those years I was away benefited me in the fact that I learned more about self and the world. But I regret the fact that I wasn't with my children and my family those 16 years.
True that. True that. As a boxing coach, this story is like long, man. You know, my life is like a movie, and so is Rick's. So I try to chop it up for you. Age 11, started boxing. Fast forward, I squandered my talents, ended up in prison, ended up on drugs. God gave me all of that back. Now I'm a boxing coach, able to teach other young men and women that they have the opportunity to be better and not squander their talents if they just pay attention to what it is that they love to do. As a boxing coach, my motto is this: life is a championship boxing match. You got to be ready for both of them, either one. Whether you're going to be something in life, you got to prepare for it. If you want to be a boxer, you got to prepare for it. You got to be in shape, mentally, spiritually, and definitely physically. And so it is with life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do have to be prepared for life, and the streets of East St. Louis will definitely do that. When I went away for those years, I found that the lessons I learned in the streets of East St. Louis carried me wherever I went. And I'm not saying all those lessons were bad. They were life-saving lessons, honestly. It's been said that if you can make it in East St. Louis, you can make it anywhere.
True.
And that's true.
That's very true.
That's very true, because East St. Louis is so depressed, so downtrodden, so mismanaged, that if you can make a living here and survive, when you go somewhere else, it's like a piece of cake. So that's what it was to me when I would go other places. And they wouldn't think that I've been through what I've been through, but been through a lot, seen a lot, done a lot, know a lot, looking to learn a lot more. Because what I've learned is I don't know nothing. But that's the mission of us in life, is to learn from the cradle to the grave, as is said. And that's what I attempted to do, learn every day. Anything that's going to make me a better person and those around me better, I attempt to do my best to understand and learn it.
That's right.
And that's the message that we relate to our clients. A lot of them, just one this morning, young guy doesn't know that at that age, man, you have the whole world in front of you. 20-something years old, oh my God. The world is waiting on you, and so don't let your life be caught up in the prison industrial complex, because you'll get lost in the sauce, as we like to say. They're not interested in your rehabilitation. They're interested in making money off you as long as you remain in their custody. That's all they're interested in. So do the things necessary to not put yourself in those adverse situations.
That's right. That's right. We about running out of time, so what we want to leave you with is this: we are our brother's keepers, and that's our motto, and that's what we do. We want you to know that we love you, we care about you. There was a time when I could care less about anybody. I was all about me. So now I'm about other people, and as far as scripture goes, it's what you do for others that will last. I'm going to leave you on that note, is that we are our brother's keepers, and we're coming to take care of you.
And one more thing. We have a song that says, "Don't back down." Don't back down. Stand up and fight, because that's the only way you're going to beat the things that face you in this world. If you face them head on and fight for your right to life. Peace.